David Seymour is in election mode. He has done a bad job in government, and he is desperately trying to shore up his popularity. Just watch.
People get much more, or at least they could, out of a contest of ideas than the prejudice of identity. And yet when I listen to the opposition, I listen to politics around the world in fact, what I hear is too much zero-sum thinking. I hear far too much identity politics. It's a toxic mix that is the enemy of unity and progress for all people. This zero-sum thinking, we hear too much of it. We hear it every day. I heard it from one of the Green co-leaders on the TV this morning. She tells her voters that their problems are caused by someone else's success, and the solution to their problem is therefore another tax to take their money off them.
David Seymour is an absolute joke. He condemns identity politics, yet he is the most rabid defender of Israel in New Zealand politics. Israel is an ethno-state that is built on identity politics. A Jewish ethno-state engaged in ethnic cleansing that responds to every criticism with accusations of bigotry and lectures about historical oppression. They are the biggest peddlers of identity politics in the world. And David Seymour has repeatedly defended them. And now this smug idiot lectures us about identity politics, when he supports a country that has murdered thousands of children in the name of its deranged identity politics. What a joke. He says the success of one does not occur to the detriment of another, when the entire point of his policy agenda is to ensure that one can prosper to the detriment of another. This is the man who wants to freeze the minimum wage and let inflation destroy it. This is the man who abolished trade union empowering legislation to make workers powerless. This is the man who cut sick leave for part-time workers. This is the man who voted against a bill that made it a crime to steal workers' wages. This is the man who opposed modern slavery legislation aimed at exposing slavery in companies' supply chains. And he is smug enough and dishonest enough to claim that the success of one does not occur to the detriment of another, when his entire political purpose is to ensure that some can prosper at great cost to others. It is possible to succeed while enriching others too. The world is not a complete zero-sum game. But it is also very possible to succeed at great cost to others. A man who makes millions from exploiting slave labour, a man who refuses to pay his workers, a man who pays his workers almost nothing while they generate enormous wealth for him. That is reprehensible. That is an example of one prospering to the detriment of another. And these are the economic conditions that the ACT Party exists to create and defend. That is the reality. This party voted against a bill that made it a crime to steal workers' wages. And now they pretend there is no such thing as a zero-sum game. They pretend every economic exchange is good for everyone. That is a delusional fantasy. Anyone with even a drop of common sense can recognise that not everything that happens in a free market is universally beneficial, especially in a deregulated free market. A free market where workers are totally powerless, condemned to ruthless exploitation. That is not beneficial to everyone, quite the opposite. ACT needs to be voted out as soon as possible. The rabid cultish neoliberalism that they represent has done enormous damage to this country, and needs to be cast into the abyss for good. They treat capitalism like a religion, and it is very, very dangerous.